The NASCAR Winston Cup Series drivers took an early summer off week, but they're back in action once again at the Michigan International Speedway here in Brooklyn, Michigan. This is the Kmart 400s. We're now into the second half of the Winston Cup Series season here on JRTV. The championship starts to ramp up for Trey Bardo and Keegan Thompson. They're separated by less than half a race in terms of points, while others like Zidell, Sierra, and Jericho try to reel in to make it a 5-car race for the championship, and they still have half the season remaining here at Michigan to try and get some points and get even closer to the front two in the championship. I'm Joe Rakowski here to bring you live flag-to-flag coverage once again of the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup Series, this time at Michigan in the Kmart 400. We saw in qualifying Roush Racing carry the front row with Sebastian Kukulan on pole and Keyshawn Richardson, who's outside, starting in second. Their teammate Matthew Burnett also starts inside the top 10 in ninth, while their other teammates are starting further back in the field. We'll see what Nathan Stapleton and Colin T can do, both starting outside the top 15 here today at Michigan. It's a beautiful day for the fans here in Brooklyn, Michigan. Clear skies, great temperatures, mid-70s, a little bit of a breeze, some wind here at Michigan, and no chance of rain once again. It is a perfect day for racing here in Brooklyn, Michigan. We're looking forward to seeing it here on JRTV. In terms of the championship runners and how they start here today, Trey Bardo starts in 8th place. Keegan Thompson starts in 10th. So they're separated by just one row. They are one row apart at the start of the Kmart 400. They are a few points apart, though. Keegan Thompson leads Trey Bardo by a good bit. We'll see if Bardo can try and chip into that points in once again. And what can drivers like Chris Jericho, Justin Zidell, and Brett Sierra do? Jericho starts in 5th, Zidell starts in 7th, but Brett Sierra had a terrible qualifying result. He was fastest in practice, but he'll start outside the top 35 here today in the Kmart 400 number 2500 Motorsport Chevrolet. What can he do to try and work his way through the field to make sure he doesn't lose many points and doesn't lose many spots in terms of the point standings? Sierra has an uphill battle, but we'll see what he can do in that 25 from outside the top 35. And what can Zidell do? He's the only Hendrick car to not win this season. It's his home track. If there's a place he wants to get his first ever NASCAR Winston Cup Series win, it would be right here today at Michigan. 2 cars failed in post-qualifying inspection. Walker Davis and Luke Iger both starting outside the top 30 as was. They'll now start back in the 41st and 42nd positions here today at Michigan. Once again, the Michigan International Speedway located in Brooklyn, Michigan, 2 miles in length. Variation of banking all throughout, 18, 12, 5 degrees, 18 in the corners, 12 on the front stretch, 5 on the back straightaway. Track opened in the late 60s, held its first ever race in 1981 here at Michigan. The past 5 winners, well, we've had 4 different winners in 5 races. You had Isaac Nichols and Nat Wagner, Jeff Bright, Roland Emmerich, and Jeff Wright. So the 5 car has won 2 of the last 3 here at Michigan. Keegan Thompson has to come from 10th place to do it there. It's a 40-lap race, 80 miles. The fuel window just past halfway. It'll be from about 21 to 24, maybe 25 laps. So these drivers will have to pit immediately after the midway point. We'll see if drivers try to undercut or if drivers want to keep that draft and then try maybe an overcut and jump people by using draft down the racetrack. We'll see how it all unfolds here in the Kmart 400. About to get underway from Michigan. Let's go down track to fire these cars up.
Drivers, start your engines.
There you can see the 4-2 cars rolling off to do battle here at the Michigan International Speedway. We'll see who can bring it home after 40 laps in victory lane. Look to the man starting in 5th place, Chris Jericho. The month of May, as we mentioned, was dismal for Jericho. However, at Pocono, the month of June started out well as he got 2nd place, nearly past Conrad Evans on the last few laps to get victory at Pocono. Jericho starts in 5th, looking to gain points back that he lost in the month of May, trying to get back into that fight for the championship. It's an uphill battle from here, but if Bardo and Thompson fall back in the outside and Jericho can maintain inside the top 5, top 3, he may be able to get it done in the 18. To his outside, the man starting in 6th, Eli Bright, was 39th on the practice charts. He currently comes in just inside the top 28 points, and for a team like DEI, that is their fight. Finish inside the top 28 points and move forward to next season and try and improve. Eli Bright did not show the pace in practice, but qualifying that single car, or the single car practice speed, qualifying speed was there for the 8. He qualified at 6th on speed. We'll see what he can do in that 8 car. Starting back just outside the top 10 and 12th, Lathan Strickland won the last 2-mile race out in Fontana, California at the California Speedway. What can he do here at Michigan? They are very similar. However, we see out in Fontana, California, the track a little bit different out there. We'll see what Strickland can do for the 12th position here today at Michigan. The pace car is in its Roush Racing Special Kukulon and Keyshawn Richardson on the front row. 2 unsuspected drivers on the second row, Jack Haas and Jose Mills, as they come down. The green flag about to get in the air. Kukulon is on the gas. We're underway in Brooklyn, Michigan. Look at Bardo already. He wants to get down to the inside as quick as possible, trying to put some distance in between he and Keegan Thompson. Thompson's still on the outside. Bardo immediately jumped down to the inside from Matthew Burnett behind Chris Jericho. As at the front, Kukulon leads for pole. Jack Costa second, Jericho to third, Bardo fourth, and behind them it's a logjam. Burnett gets tight underneath Zidell. He has to check up. Mills all on the outside. Thompson to the middle, and up at the front, 3 wide to lead the first lap. Kukulon will do it in the 17. Haas in the middle, down low to the 18 of Jericho. 3 abreast in turn 1 for the race lead. Jericho takes it away in the 18. Zidell now up to second in the 24, going on Jack Haas down the back straightaway. Behind them, here comes Keyshawn Richardson, start outside pole. Kukulon falling back. Conrad Evans won the last race at Pocono, dominated that one, leading the most laps. We'll see if he can try and do something similar here at Michigan. Mathis Wells, Jericho's teammates, start outside the top 15. But here he is moving nicely up inside the top 10 early on. Jordan Stout started outside the top 20. The 88 flying through the field. Jay Reno in tow. They're making moves through the pack. Richardson looks for second on Zidell as they race off to turns 1 and 2. Battle for a second. Conrad Evans wants to get a piece of that. It's behind them. They are scattering out 3 and almost 4 wide. They are 4 wide a little bit further back. Thompson in the middle of this. He cannot afford to wreck right here. If he wrecks, he loses so many points to Bardo. He gets out of that 4 wide. It's back to 3 wide. That could have been close for Keegan Thompson, the 5 base. Still in the middle, falling back. Look at Ruiz by him. Yepez and Colatique. Brandon Beal come to us, and Anderson Reed. Eli Bright. Kukulon have struggled on the start. They faded back from 6th and 1st. They're outside the top 20. It's back to the front. Jericho still leads the battle for a second, still raging on. Now RCR on the inside. It's Conrad Evans with his teammate Trey Bardo. Bardo up inside the top 5, now up inside the top 3 and looking for the runner-up spot as they race off 2 and down the back straightaway. How about the start for Luke Rennie in the 2? He started, I believe, back in 25th. But that 2 car is making some nice gains for the pack and is currently up inside the top 10 and looking at further up inside the top 10, maybe even inside the top 5 is back here. Jack Haas from 3rd is fading on the outside. They'll be 4 wide off the 4th corner. Haas on the way outside. Rando and Beal are in the middle. Anderson Reed down low. This is all happening just a row in front of the 5 of Keegan Thompson, our current points leader. But Thompson is struggling in the 5 on the outside, trying to cling on to a top 20, but it's not looking like it's going to happen right here. Thompson's still up top 3. White is going to lose those spots in the 5 car. There goes Bright and Kukulon. His teammate Sierra gets by him in the 25. Sierra started outside the top 35, but here he is making moves past Keegan Thompson. Lord Chung getting by Riley Sprowton and Jamie Stimmer Jr. as well. There's a hole behind the 71, but if he can't get down in line soon enough, he's not going to be able to take it because here comes Baird and others. The DI cars get a little close as Brett Sierra makes the move on Anthony Hernandez and almost got Hernandez up into Eli Bryan, the 8. Crazy racing early on here. The Kmart 400 is up at the front. We had a lead change. Jericho had it, but Bardo will take it away. Now Bardo getting fought by Nathan Stapleton. Here comes the 97 to the inside off turn 2. For Roush Racing, they had fast cars in qualifying. We saw 2 of them still in the front row. Stapleton was the lowest starting of these cars, but here he is to the race lead on lap number 6. He brings Conrad Evans to second with them now as 97 slides there. Here comes Evans to the inside. And big for Bardo. He got to lead that last lap for 5 bonus points. Thompson so far is not looking like he's got a shot to lead the lap. So at the moment, Bardo has 5 guaranteed points and Thompson doesn't have those. Conrad Evans led that last lap in the 31. He's trying to fight further up in the points as he's gained some momentum as of late. Obviously, that win at Pocono helped him with 2nd victory of the season. Jericho behind him looking to get back into the championship fight. He looks to try and get by Stapleton, but Stapleton getting the draft from the RCR boys on the outside to get back clear of the 18 and try and keep 2nd. As now Jordan Stout gains in 5th, Zidell in 6th, Luke Brady in 7th, Richardson in 8th, Roger Ray up to 9th, and his teammate Lathan Strickland just in tow in 10th. Strickland having a really good day along with Roger Ray. They were outside the top 30 in practice speeds, but they both qualified pretty well and currently racing pretty well as both those cars finished well at the Fontana race as well at the California Speedway. So no surprise that these two Andy Peachtree Racing Chevrolets are doing well. As back up to the front, Conrad Evans had it. Nathan Stapleton wants to actually lead a lap this time by in the 97, but he's being challenged by Evans' teammate Trey Bardo to the inside. Bardo getting a little bit of a boost from the 18 of Jericho as Stapleton looks to fend off the bottom of the racetrack and will make it 5 cars for the lead. We have 2 from RCR, 1 from Joe Gibbs Racing, 1 from Roush, and 1 from Hendrick Motorsports. And Zidell trying to maintain control of the front 4, but lost a little bit of ground there on exit. And now they battle for second. Bardo has it, but Jericho wants it, and Evans wants it more to the bottom, 3 wide for second position. Looks like Jericho going to back out to get in behind Bardo and let Evans have that inside lane. Keegan Thompson has faded back to 21st, but that might be the rest of the bleeding done right there for the driver of the 5. He might finally find a place in line and try and regroup and move back forward. There he is. He's already gone by Jamie Stewart Jr. right in the back of his teammate Brett Sierra. Aaron's right up ahead. They could get by him as well. So Thompson now trying to regroup. It was a bad start for the 5 of Thompson, who started a row behind Bardo. Bardo got to lead a lap in this race. Thompson has not done that. In fact, he's in the second half of the field. So we'll see what can happen for Thompson in the next 30 laps of this race. If he can try and regroup and get back up there, it's 3 wide. Teammates going at it. Strickland and Roger Ray. Jordan Stout caught in that as he goes to the outside. Jacob Boyd for Wood Brothers Racing moved to the inside. They've had success here in the past, and so far having that same success with Jacob Boyd. Is moving for a top 10 here just in front of Mathis Wells from Joe Gibbs Racing. So at the moment, Wood Brothers Racing, Jacob Boyd, they're liking their car so far, and if he can try and move a little bit further up in the pack, he can have a shot at the end of the day. Look at the run for Stout on the outside. Stalls Wells, and look at Ruiz, the run he had for Melling Racing in the 9 car, as he'll get a slingshot run to the inside of turn 1. 3 wide to the bomb for Bibi Ruiz. Ruiz making that pass work through 1 and 2. That 9 for Melling Racing up to 11th, just outside the top 10s. We have about for second. Teammates Evans and Bardo go at it. Evans on the inside, Bardo on the outside. Jericho going to go with the 31 of Evans on the inside. He'll now look 3 wide for that second spot. It's Chris Jericho forcing hold to the inside. Evans and Bardo both. And there he goes. He's by them. But is he clear of them? So far, Bardo getting the launch on the outside. Might try and clear into turn 1. He couldn't, though. They're still 3 wide for second. Jericho on the inside might be able to get this right here like Ruiz did last lap, a little bit further back in the pack. There he goes on the inside. And now Zidell to the middle with Roger Ray. And all that balance, 3 wide for second, all that. It's allowed Zidell and Ray and Strickland and Richardson to catch up. Now we have about 8 cars at the front of the field, maybe even more. Here comes Luke Brittany and Jordan Stout trying to get caught up along with the 9 and the 20. So this thing is far from over for sure. We can see a lot more cars trying to gain as they're going to keep battling for a second. That's not what Jericho and Conrad Evans need to keep doing. They need to try and get in line, sort it out, because the more they battle, look at Stapleton is 0.6 of a second gone in the 97 for Roush Racing. The more they battle for that second spot, the more Stapleton's going to pull away and lead this race. That last lap was about 1.5 faster than the battle for second back behind him. But Evans may have finally gotten that pass done. He's gotten away nicely from Chris Jericho right there. So Evans might be able to move up in second to try and run down the 97 as a little bit of 3 wide further back. In the middle of Strickland, down low it's Richardson, up top it's Trey Bardo as he starts to fade back. Thompson has currently moved up only to 19th in the 5 car. He has gotten by teammate Brett Sierra, who's still struggling in the 25, currently back in the 22nd position. Mitchell Collins started 30th. He's not having a good day. Kukulon from pole is only in the 27th position. Eli Brett from 6th is in 26th. And look at some other drivers. Caden Lynn had a good practice pace, but not here. Ryan Wilson and Zachary DeLello, both Petty Iron Price's car, not having good days as well, as you have Wilson 36th and DeLello is a lap down in 42nd. So obviously some issues there in the 43. Roger Ray goes for third. Andy Peachtree Racing, they brought some stuff. You have to know their team owner maybe pleased. Allison Rain, seeing both their cars inside the top 6 currently, and one of them going for a top 3 right here. That's allowed Evans to get away a little bit. That's what Conrad needed to have happen right there, because now he's able to get and just focus on the 97, not focus on a car on his bumper, maybe trying to make a move off into turn 3, off into turn 1. He can now just focus on that 97, try and focus on just staying in the draft and getting with Stapleton and staying with them as they race down into turns 3 and 4. And we're nearing pit stops. So we're getting very close to that. We're coming around to 25 laps of racing to go this time by at Michigan in the Kmart 400. It's flown by, but that's expected to happen at a track with this fast of speeds. I mean, They get down to 180 miles an hour in the middle of the corner, but at the end of the straightaway, they're going 200 off into turn 1. So it is a difference of 20 miles an hour top to bottom as here comes Evans. Peek into the inside. He gets there on Stapleton. They'll be side by side for the lead. And now Roger Ray and the 18 of Jericho, they want to sort that out as quickly as possible for third because they're side by side in front. That will create a huge hole in the air for them, and they can gain big time in that draft. So they want to get that clear, and Ray's clear at third easily. Now Zidell goes for fourth on Jericho. Remember, Zidell, Michigan native, wants to win at his home track here in that 24. Stapleton fighting tough on the outside, almost clears the third one back, and he might actually off into turn 1. So Evans, kind of what he did to Jericho last race at Pocono, happened to him with Stapleton being the defender. Here comes Roger Ray. Roger Ray got right to the back of the third one. Thought he was going to make it 3 wider, hit the 31 to the corner. Now he's going to try and push Evans by Stapleton. These two kind of have an alliance, teamwork sort of, for Chevrolet and whatnot. RCR and Andy Peacher Racing. Now Ray wants the lead from Kmart Evans. He helped Evans take it. Evans is clear to the 97, but he's not clear to the 55. Roger Ray fights to the inside. Looks like he might lead this lap in the 55. So close at the line. And he did by a few thousandths of a second. Roger Ray leads in the 55. And these four now being 2 by 2 like this. Zidell, Bardo, Strickland, Richardson, Stout, Wells are coming. Spurlington and others trying to latch on. Luke Rennie falling back. Aaron Reed's up here, but Keegan Thompson is stuck. In fact, he's getting passed by single car teams. Nathan Baird and Jamie Stammer Jr. is up top 3 wide again. So Keegan Thompson's day is going from bad to worse. He just cannot find a way to get. Oh, he might get hit by the 71, the 60 right there. That was a very close call for Keegan Thompson. Luckily, he's able to get away from it, but back to the front because this battle's still not done. Roger Ray has it. Stapleton wants second. They're 3 wide behind for fifth. Bardo through the middle trying to get clear. Strickland on the inside. Zidell on the outside. 3 Chevrolets go at it with a Ford of Keyshawn Richardson mixed right in. Strickland will get to fifth, it looks like, up the backstretch. As Stapleton looks to get second from Kmart Evans. Jericho watching on, saying, come on, one of you guys get clear. I need to go. Roger Ray's getting away in the 55. Here comes Jericho to the inside of the 97 and Nathan Stapleton as it'll be halfway next time by. Roger Ray leads in the 55, looking to win for Andy Peacher Racing once again in the 2000 NASCAR Winston Cup Series season. They won out in California at the California Speedway. The second race of the season with Lathan Strickland, as Strickland just maybe got a bump at the track from Trey Bardo at 200 miles an hour. That will get your attention for sure. Bardo moves by Strickland. Strickland's momentum lost, and here comes Zidell to the inside of the 24. Yes, so now we're nearing the point of where pit stops are looming ahead for these drivers. In fact, within the next lap or so, these drivers will be hitting pit road for 4 Goodyear Eagles and 76 Racing Fuel, as this is the midway point of the Kmart 400. Caution-free so far at Michigan, but pit stops ahead, and who's going to pit when and which stretch is going to work out will be the undercut to work, or will staying in the draft in the overcut help better. We're going to find out here. If anyone wants to pit now, this would be the time to do it if you want to try the undercut. As we'll see what the front runners think to do. They're starting to get single filed out, which means they're starting to think about pit stops. They might not be pitting this time, but some are definitely maybe thinking about it. Stapleton goes high here. Evans looks to his inside. Jericho all of the back bumper, the 31 of Evans. They all kind of get sorted out of the groove there as it comes Bardo to the inside. Zidell coming with them. But so far, no one of the front runners coming down pit road. They're going to play nice for now. No one doing the undercut here at Michigan. 3 wide for fourth as Roger Ray is a mirror full of Nathan Stapleton. That fourth place battle will go to Justin Zidell in the 24. He gets by Bardo and Jericho in one big move. So Zidell, a positive gain there. Jericho now on the outside, falling behind. Now Keyshawn Richardson, maybe his teammate Mathis Wells as well. But I think pit stops are looming ahead for some of these race leaders. Yeah, here we go. Oh, Richardson, Jericho getting carried up the track, very close there. Look at many of the leaders coming in. Bardo, Richardson, Jericho stay out. They're going for an overcut, while others go for the undercut. Roger Ray from the lead. Stapleton and Evans, Zidell and Strickland, Wells and others, they're all in. But we have many drivers that also stay out to about half and half on pit road. Yeah, so where is drivers like Roger Ray and Kmart Evans, who's going to be the first off pit road, is the big question in this one. And it's going to be 4 tires, obviously, for all these drivers. We'll have to see which pit crew does their job and which strategy works. Will staying out a lap or two longer help some drivers out, or will it be the undercut strategy to work out? We're going to find out. Is Conrad Evans a good stop? Stapleton a better stop than anyone. The 97 will beat both the 31 and the 55 out. Maybe Evans might be able to do it, actually. Roger Ray, a bad pit stop. Zidell, another bad pit stop. That 2014 was not done on pit road at all this season. Oh, Evans hits Stapleton leaving pit road. He's in the grass now. He has to merge safely back, and he does, but that's going to cost him so much time. Stapleton leads with the lead. So what do the drivers like Jericho and others do on pit road? Bartle led them in the 3 car. Logan Williams stayed out to lead a lap in the 11. And we have some of the back markers that stayed out here, but we'll have to see that contact come off pit road. Did also slow Stapleton, and will it maybe help these drivers that stay out longer? Bartle a good pit stop and down away in the 3. Jericho's to wait a little bit. He'll go and leave. He'll be behind Keyshawn Richardson. Luke Rainey, Aaron Reed coming out. So now the question is, where do the 3 in them, where do they come out along with like the 97 of the others? Right now, Bartle's a nice gap. Where is Stapleton out? There he is finally. But it looks like maybe the undercut might have worked for Trey Bartle. We'll have to wait and see. Obviously, it didn't work for Richardson or Jericho. But for Bartle, it definitely worked because he came in around 5th or 6th place. He's going to leave up around the lead. So for Trey Bartle. Oh, caution's out. We have a yellow flag. Oh, it's a massive crash. Kukulon, Hagita, Iger. Multiple cars involved. Now, these drivers, they're racing to the yellow right here. Walker Davis and Logan Williams, if I'm correct, they should cycle out to the lead possibly here because they took the yellow, unless they're racing to pit exit. If they're racing to pit exit, then they're going to cycle out, but it's still going to be a gain. But if they are racing to the start-finish line, which would be the yellow flag, they would come out first and second. It'll be interesting to see where they get scored in all this. Are Davis and Williams the leaders, or will they have to fall in line? Either way, for Davis and Williams, they got to lead laps here. It looks like Davis is looking for a spot in line, so he's obviously further up than where he was going to be if this didn't happen. And it looks like he's trying to take it easier. Obviously, we saw drivers get penalized for not being safe, and it looks like it is wherever you come off of pit road. Still a really good gain for Davis. Even though it's not going to be the lead, that's a really good gain for Walker Davis and Logan Williams. They were towards the back of the field, and staying out a little bit longer helped them out there. But now the race leader, I think Stapleton was able to get back by Bartle. He did. So now the field will come together after pit stops with Stapleton the leader, but a big hit. Both Hoscar Motorsports cars are done. Mitch Corbett, Nolan Lawrence, Zachary DeLello may have been involved. We saw Hagita and Iger involved, Brandon Beal as well. It was a massive one off into turns 1 and 2. Let's go see what happened. The first yellows out here in the Kmart 400. This was not a good one at all here at the Michigan International Speedway. Caden Lynn, Brandon Beal off pit road, and the 94 ahead thought he had the spot. Caden Lynn thought differently. Spins up under the track, and something that looks harmless, it turns bad. Driver's side, Mitch Corbett sends the 94 flying. Corbett hit by teammate Lawrence, clips Iger up into the outside concrete. Hernandez somehow made it through, but obviously the terrible impact is with Brandon Beal. That car went flying through the air. Mitch Corbett also took a few hard impacts. As his teammate hit him, I think Kukulon hit him. He clipped Iger, maybe even Hagita as well. So a lot of cars involved in this one, and it was obviously a lot worse than we originally thought. Here's another look, leaving pit road. I mean, it just goes down to one lane. We saw it with Stapleton and Evans, as Evans had to go into the grass to avoid. That is just bad. We'll see if we have some different angles of this to show what more happened down the inside lane. So watch this leaving pit road. 94 spun, and we'll get to see everything. Corbett hit hard. Iger hard into the outside concrete. Kukulon hit the 66 and got the 77 and all that. It was a terrible, terrible impact for everyone involved in that one. Brandon Beal, and we hope, obviously, Beal is okay, because that was one terrible impact for the Bill Elliott Racing driver. We hope Brandon Beal is okay after that one here in the Kmart 400. Nathan Stapleton leads in the Kmart 400 at Michigan. Green flag this time by here in the Kmart 400 at Michigan. Cleaning up the first accident, obviously a little bit of an extended repair. Once again, we hope Brandon Beal is okay after that one. A terrible, terrible crash here at the Michigan International Speedway. The reason why we're just cleaning up a yellow flag. Nathan Stapleton has led a good bit of this race. He currently leads in the 97, looking to restart this race well. We have some hungry drivers back behind him, but look at the cars out. Iger took a hard impact in the outside concrete. Lawrence and Corbett. Corbett took a few hard impacts. Brandon Beal obviously got the worst of it. And Sebastian Kukulan, who was on pole for this race. The Pulsar not having the day he was wanting. That'll leave us 37 cars on the racetrack with 12 laps to go. Higuita still out there in the 77, back in 35th. Yepez just come off pit road. DeLello came into pit road under the yellow flag, which was good for him because he came in earlier in the race. So that actually got him his lap back. He can now race these drivers back on the lead lap. For Williams and Davis, it worked out really well. Davis now in 18th, Williams in 23rd. That gained them some track position. Back at the front, it's Nathan Stapleton, Trey Bardo, Roger Ray, Conrad Evans, and Jordan Stout. Then Keyshawn Richardson, Chris Jericho, Luke Rennie, Justin Zeidel, and Mathis Wells are the front 10. Points there, Keegan Thompson back in the 20th position. We're back going in the Kmart 400 at Michigan. Good restart for Nathan Stapleton and Trey Bardo. Not a good restart though for Roger Ray in third. Conrad Evans eats him up whole in the 31. Evans moves to third behind teammate Trey Bardo and looks to maybe give him a boost off turn number 2. And this could be a run here coming if Evans stays with Bardo. He makes the move with him and stays in line with him. So there we go. Bardo with help from teammate Conrad Evans. They move to the inside in a synchronized manner. Trey Bardo now leads the Kmart 400. Conrad Evans moves to second, the battle for third as a stack up. Stapleton on the outside holds it. Jordan Stout looks to take it. Zeidel looks to take it. Jericho on the outside gets shuffled out. Aronson Reed moving up inside the top 10 in the 40 for Team Savco. Look at Mathis Wells out of line, 3 wide in the 20. Mathis Wells making the big moves for the leads in RCR inter-family battle. Evans takes it back from Trey Bardo. 3 wide as Jordan Stout falls back on the outside on the 88. Stapleton now jumping low for second. Brett Sierra and Keegan Thompson are inside the top 15 for the first time today. Here comes Stapleton. He's through to second now. What can he do with Conrad Evans? Stapleton, I think, has maybe led the most laps here today. But the man who hasn't really led today but wants to do it at the end, Justin Zeidel from Michigan. Can he get it done for his first ever win? Bardo still racing Stapleton hard for a second. Doesn't want to give it up because he needs every point he can get. And who knows? Look at Jericho. Big move down front. Strickland to try and get down in line. And maybe looks for more on Luke Rennie and Aronson Reed. Look at Syria. He just shoved someone out of the way back there. I think it was Jacob Boyd. He and Thompson, the teammates, are coming forward. Zeidel's been inside the top 10 all day. Syria and Thompson have been nowhere at all. But here they are inside the top 15. Right at the end when it matters most. Inside the final 10 laps. And they're getting very aggressive at the front. Drivers are moving out, pushing each other's side, shoving each other out of the way. They're starting to get very aggressive on these new Goodyear Eagles, and they're showing why. They're in the final 10 laps now. 3 wide for second again. In the middle, it's Luke Rennie having a really good recovery after a bad qualifying result. Jericho on the inside, Zeidel on the outside. Right with them comes Mathis Wells, and here comes Strickland leading Keegan Thompson up on the inside. Thompson now by Trey Bardo, and right there now Thompson gaining points on the 3 car. All day long it had been the opposite. Yeah, all day long we're thinking Keegan Thompson might actually lose the points lead to Trey Bardo. But here he is now, he's making moves, and could he get his 6th win of the season, and the 2nd straight at Michigan for the 5 team, and 3 of the last 4 at Michigan, possibly for the 5 team. Luke Rennie jumps down in front of the 5. Zeidel doesn't have that luxury, as now Joe Gibbs Racing looks to run down the 31 of Evans, but they're going to have to do it side by side. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that. Wells is now going out Jericho. I would have thought he would have tried to stay with them to run that 31 down, but Wells was not having that teamwork at all. He moves out, but look at Keegan Thompson up to 6th, and Bardo nowhere to be seen, still falling back in the outside in the 3. Trey Bardo went from leading this race, having a really, really good day. That yellow has put him back here. Now he's losing a lot of points to Keegan Thompson. Thompson up inside the top 5, going for a top 5. Bardo will be looking to hang on to a top 15 or so. Move back up to the front. Big Bow's up there, but a big Bow for second behind. Conrad Evans looking for a 2nd straight win in this season. Wells and Jericho, the teammates, are 2nd and 3rd. Does Jericho stay with Wells? Since Wells ditched Jericho last time, does he decide, hey, I'm not being nice with you, and moves to the 20th side? Look at Zeidel. Moves to 4th by Luke Rennie. Thompson for a top 5 in the 5. Stapleton, who led a lot of this race, trying to hang on for a top 10 and trying to get back inside the top 10. Is Aronson Reed from Team Savco just behind him and just in front of him. Brett Sierra, who started out back and has raced his way well up inside the top 10. Teammates battle for second again, 6 to go. Jericho's not letting Wells go without a fight right here. That's only helping Evans keep that race lead. Luke Rennie is able to hold on to 5th in front of Thompson. Thompson with his mirrors full now of Brett Sierra. Justin Zeidel is coming in the 24. He's going to try and push Jericho by Wells to have a shot at the third one himself. In fact, he might just go through right now. There he goes to the bomb. Justin Zeidel for second, but he washes up. Here comes the 2 of Luke Rainey looking inside. That's going to be a nice run for Jericho with that outside run as Zeidel kind of slid up. Jericho can try and clear and maybe give draft to the 2 and try and pull away. He has 5 laps to run down the third one. These two battled last race 2 weeks ago at Pocono. Here they are again, 1-2 at the end of Michigan. Can Jericho find a way to get by the 31 in this occasion? Thompson fade behind now teammate Brett Sierra, but Aaron Reed couldn't get by him. Jacob Boyd has a nice run. He got by Stapleton and Aaron Reed both moved Jacob Boyd up inside the top 8. Sierra battles Mathis Wells for a spot inside the top 5. That's for 5th. The battle for the race lead is now 3 cars. It's Kmart Evans, Chris Jericho, Justin Zeidel. If those 3 battle, Luke Rainey in 4th also there. It could be 4 cars for the lead and the win. Back around, 4 laps to go in the Kmart 400. Zeidel's going to have a peek for second right here. A nice run off 4. He took it to the inside. He wants to win at his home track. 3 wide behind them for 5th. Thompson by Sierra and Wells. Jacob Boyd fancies a top 5 spot. Bardo trying to come back in the 3. They see him back there, but he's now back on the outside. Thompson inside the top 5 for the first time today. Zeidel is second. Luke Rainey wants second. And the more they battle, the more Evans sees 2 in a row. Just in front of him, just in grasp. Can he hold on for 3 more laps? That's going to be a nice run for Zeidel. That was a really good run off 4. And that's going to carry him all the way down the front into turn 1. It's going to be a nice run. Zeidel's never won in the Winston Cup Series. Evans has won twice. And Zeidel is at his home track looking for it. Jericho clears in 3rd. Thompson looks for 4th on Luke Rainey. Keegan might not win this race, but it's going to be a really good points day for the driver of the 5. This time by 2 laps go for the lead. Zeidel is there, and he's by. He passes Kmart Evans back around to 2 laps to go in the Kmart 400 at Michigan. And now Jericho's there. 3 cars. Zeidel versus Evans versus Jericho. 2 laps to go at Michigan. Look at the run for the 18. Uninterrupted. No threat at all. Chris Jericho to the inside. He wants the lead for the 24 Zeidel. Zeidel keeps the lead, but Jericho clears in 2nd. Evans to 3rd. Thompson gets 4th from Luke Rainey. Sierra gets 5th from Luke Rainey. Down the backstretch to the white flag this time by at Michigan. The driver in 1st has never won. The driver in 2nd's only won once. The driver in 3rd has won twice. Thompson in 4th has won 5 times. Which of these 4 get to victory lane at Michigan? Zeidel takes the white flag in front of the hometown crowd. One more time around Michigan. They battle for 2nd behind. Evans to the inside of Jericho. That's going to help Zeidel out if they stay side by side. If one of them gets clear, they can have a run here. But they stay side by side through turn 2 and down the backstretch for the final time. Justin Zeidel has never won in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. He's been oh so consistent, but he's not been able to find victory lane. Today is going to be that day. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. It's a 3-way battle for 2nd, but to the checker flag all by himself. Justin Zeidel claims Michigan in the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. What a day for Justin Zeidel. His home track started into the top 10, and he did it in such fantastic fashion. He wasn't leading until the final 10 laps, and he found some extra horses and won the Kmart 400 at Michigan. Zeidel is going to be loving that. Hendrick Motorsports has to be loving that. See, Thompson and Sierra both finished well, and they're both up here congratulating Justin Zeidel on what was an amazing victory for that Team Hendrick driver. It's what we love to see. Driver winning at his home track. Oh my Lord. You love to see something like that. The emotion for Zeidel has got to be through the roof after that one for sure. Well, let's take a look at these finishing results. Justin Zeidel, home track, obviously was able to get it done in the 24. 2nd place belonged to Chris Jericho, who's able to hold on for a 2nd. He'll gain a few points on Keegan Thompson, but Thompson rallied his way from mid-pack up to 3rd on that final restart. He restarted back in 20th position with just over 10 laps to go. It was, what, 12 laps to go we had? And Thompson rallied from 20th to 3rd. An amazing drive for the 5 car. Kmart Evans so close to back-to-back wins. He has to settle for 3rd place. Brett Sierra ends up, or excuse me, Evans gets 4th. Sierra gets 5th in the 25. So Brett Sierra, again, just like teammate Keegan Thompson, wasn't having the best of days, but that caution really saved him. Sierra gets inside the top 5. Luke Marine, really good day for Team Penske right there. He ends up in 6th. Mathis Wells ends up in 7th. Nathan Stapleton, a really good car, but after that restart, didn't really settle well for the 97. He ends up in 8th. How about Jose Mills? He started so well today in that 7. Started inside the top 5 in 4th. He fell back. Never talked about him. Mills recovers for a 9th place finish from Retain Motorsports. Really good run for that single car team. And Anderson Reach for Team Sabco, top 10. That whole organization has really found something as of late. Jordan Stout, Jacob Boyd just finished outside the top 10. Same with Mitchell Collins. How about Bibby Rose and Walker Davis from Melling Racing and Tyler Jet Motorsports? They both get top 15s. Really good days for them. Roger Ray led laps early on, 18th, but Trey Barno has to be the heartbreak. He and Thompson basically swapped positions. Thompson was back around 20th all day. Bardo was up inside the top 5 all day. Thompson ends up inside the top 5. Bardo ends up back around 20th place. Disappointing there for Trey Barno for sure. Jamie Stewart Jr., good day in the top 20 as well. Jack Constar 21st. I thought would have been a lot better for him, but he gets 22nd. Obviously starting in 3rd place, but just going to get done. Eli Bright from 6th, got 22nd right there. And see some of the cars down here. Matthew Burnett did not have a good day at all for Roush Racing. 26th for him. Keyshawn Richardson back in 30th. And there, Lathan Strickland 27th. There were some drivers that were up towards the front that really faded back. As you can see down here, then the cars obviously out. Especially Kukulon, Brandon Beal, Mitch Corbett, Nolan Lawrence, and Luca Iger after that really terrible impact in turn 22. We once again hope everyone involved in that accident is okay. Well, on one side of this race, there was that big accident, that very scary accident. On the other side, a hometown favorite, Justin Zeidel, found victory for Hedrick Motorsports for the first time at his home track. I mean, that is an amazing story, especially for Justin Zeidel. Gotta be loving this, and is that maybe now he broke through, the momentum can carry him to maybe bigger things this season? Can he possibly try and join his teammates in the multiple win club? We're going to find out. As a next race, it's one of the more unique racetracks. We go racing at New Hampshire for the Jiffy Lube 300. That's going to be something to watch for sure. What are we going to see there, because track position means so much, qualifying means so much. Will we see someone maybe qualify up towards the front that we weren't expecting, and maybe they hold on and try and keep that track position, do something different to try and get that victory? We're going to find out next week from New Hampshire. Thanks for watching JRTV's presentation of the Kmart 400 at the Michigan International Speedway. Congratulations once again to Justin Zeidel on winning here at Michigan, and we'll see you guys for New Hampshire.